Ever wondered why your grandmother's vegetables tasted better than store-bought ones today? Amish farmers have been quietly outperforming modern agriculture using centuries-old methods. While industrial farms struggle with rising costs and soil depletion, these traditional farmers produce more food per acre while actually improving their land year after year. Trick 1. Crop rotation. Modern farms often plant the same crop year after year, depleting soil nutrients and requiring expensive fertilizers. The Amish use a completely different approach called crop rotation that naturally restores soil health. They plant corn one year, then soybeans, followed by wheat, and finally let the field rest with grass and clover. This cycle breaks pest patterns, prevents disease buildup, and actually adds nitrogen back to the soil through legume plants. Each crop serves a purpose beyond just harvest. Corn provides structure, soybeans fix nitrogen, wheat breaks pest cycles, and grass builds organic matter. Trick 2. Cover crops. While conventional farmers leave fields bare after harvest, creating perfect conditions for erosion and nutrient loss, the Amish plant cover crops that protect and feed the soil through winter. These aren't crops they harvest for food. They're specifically chosen to improve soil health. Winter rye prevents erosion with its deep roots, crimson clover adds nitrogen naturally, and buckwheat breaks up compacted soil while attracting beneficial insects. Come spring, these cover crops are plowed under, becoming free fertilizer that feeds the soil's living ecosystem. This simple practice can increase soil organic matter by up to 50% over time, creating a foundation for healthier crops and higher yields in subsequent seasons. Trick 3. Natural fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers provide quick nutrition but destroy soil life and create dependency cycles that cost farmers thousands annually. Amish farmers take a completely different approach using composted manure, which feeds both plants and soil organisms. Their animals provide the raw materials, and careful composting transforms waste into black gold that improves soil structure, water retention, and nutrient availability. They also use fish emulsion, bone meal, and wood ash, all natural materials that release nutrients slowly and support beneficial bacteria and fungi. This approach costs less, builds soil health, and produces more nutritious crops that resist disease naturally. The composting process itself becomes an art form, with layers of carbon-rich materials like straw mixed with nitrogen-rich manure, creating perfect conditions for beneficial microorganisms to break down organic matter into plant-available nutrients. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that can burn plants and kill soil life, these natural amendments improve soil structure while feeding crops gradually throughout the growing season. Trick 4. Companion planting. Industrial agriculture fights nature with pesticides and herbicides, but Amish farmers work with natural plant relationships to solve problems. They plant corn, beans, and squash together, the three sisters method that Native Americans perfected centuries ago. Corn provides structure for beans to climb, beans fix nitrogen that feeds corn and squash, while squash leaves shade the soil and prevent weeds. Marigolds planted throughout vegetable gardens repel harmful insects naturally, while herbs like basil improve tomato flavor and deter pests. These plant partnerships create balanced ecosystems where each species helps the others thrive, eliminating the need for expensive chemicals while increasing yields. The wisdom goes even deeper. Nasturtiums planted near cucumbers repel cucumber beetles, while radishes planted with carrots help break up compacted soil and deter carrot flies. Sunflowers attract beneficial insects, while their deep roots bring nutrients up from subsoil layers. This intricate web of plant relationships creates natural harmony that modern agriculture has largely forgotten. Yet science continues to validate these ancient partnerships through research into allelopathy, nitrogen fixation, and biological pest control. Water management. Modern irrigation systems consume massive amounts of energy and water, often leading to soil erosion and nutrient runoff. Amish farmers use gravity-fed systems and strategic land management that works with natural water cycles. They build terraces on slopes to prevent erosion, create swales that capture rainwater and use windbreaks that reduce evaporation while protecting crops from harsh weather. Ponds and wetlands aren't just for livestock. They recharge groundwater, provide habitat for beneficial insects, and create microclimates that extend growing seasons. Their fields retain moisture longer, require less irrigation, and actually improve water quality in surrounding areas through natural filtration. The placement of every pond, swale, and terrace is carefully planned to maximize water retention while preventing erosion. Windbreaks of trees and shrubs create microclimates that protect crops from drying winds, reduce evaporation rates, and provide habitat for beneficial birds and insects. Contour planting follows the natural curves of the land, slowing water flow and allowing maximum infiltration. These systems work together to create farms that actually improve watershed health rather than degrading it, demonstrating how agriculture can enhance rather than harm natural water cycles. Trick 5. Pest control. Chemical pesticides create resistant insects, kill beneficial species, and require increasingly expensive applications that harm both environment and farm budgets. Amish farmers use integrated pest management that turns nature's own systems against harmful insects. They encourage beneficial predators like ladybugs, lacewings, and birds that eat crop pests naturally. Diverse plantings confuse and discourage pest insects while providing habitat for their natural enemies. Row covers protect vulnerable young plants, while sticky traps and pheromone lures target specific problems without harming beneficial species. Hand-picking and mechanical removal handle larger pests effectively. This approach requires more knowledge but costs less money, protects beneficial insects, and maintains natural balance that prevents major pest outbreaks. The key lies in understanding pest life cycles and creating conditions that favor their natural enemies. Beetle banks, WS. Strips of perennial grasses and wildflowers provide overwintering habitat for beneficial insects that emerge in spring to control crop pests. Trap crops like nasturtiums attract pests away from valuable vegetables, concentrating them for easy removal. Timing is everything. Knowing when to plant, when to harvest, and when to take action based on pest development stages rather than calendar dates. This ecological approach builds resilience into the farming system, creating natural checks and balances that prevent any single pest from becoming overwhelming. Trick 6. Soil health. While industrial farming treats soil like dirt to hold plants upright, Amish farmers understand that healthy soil is a living ecosystem teeming with billions of beneficial microorganisms. They avoid practices that kill soil life, like over-tilling and chemical applications, instead focusing on building organic matter through compost, manure, and cover crops. Regular soil testing guides their decisions, but they also observe earthworm populations, soil color, and plant health as indicators of soil vitality. They minimize soil compaction by avoiding heavy machinery when soil is wet, use permanent paths to reduce traffic on growing areas, and maintain soil structure through careful management. This results in soil that holds more water, releases nutrients slowly, resists erosion, and produces healthier plants that naturally resist disease and pests. The biological activity in healthy soil creates natural antibiotics that suppress plant diseases, while mycorrhizal fungi form partnerships with plant roots that improve nutrient uptake and drought tolerance. Earthworms create stable soil aggregates through their digestive processes, improving soil structure and water infiltration. The carbon sequestration in healthy soil helps combat climate change while building long-term soil fertility. This understanding of soil as a living system rather than an inert growing medium represents one of the most profound differences between Amish farming and industrial agriculture, with implications for both productivity and environmental sustainability. Trick 7. Rotation science. The science behind crop rotation is simple but revolutionary. Different crops have different root depths, nutrient needs, and pest vulnerabilities. When you rotate crops, You break the life cycles of pests and diseases that depend on specific host plants. Legume crops like soybeans and clover have special bacteria in their roots that capture nitrogen from the air and convert it into plant-available fertilizer. This natural process can add 50 to 200 pounds of nitrogen per acre without any chemical inputs. The diverse root systems also improve soil structure. Deep-rooted plants break up compacted layers, while shallow-rooted plants create networks near the surface. Modern research confirms what Amish farmers have known for centuries. Diverse rotations increase yields, reduce input costs, and build soil health over time. This simple practice addresses multiple farming challenges simultaneously while actually improving the land for future generations. Cover benefits. Cover crops work like a living blanket that protects and feeds the soil when main crops aren't growing. The magic happens underground, where cover crop roots create channels that improve water infiltration and air movement. When these plants decompose, they feed billions of soil organisms that create natural fertilizers and disease-fighting compounds. Different cover crops provide different benefits. Grasses prevent erosion, legumes add nitrogen, brassicas break pest cycles, and deep-rooted plants bring nutrients up from lower soil layers. The timing is crucial. Fall-planted covers protect soil through winter storms, while summer covers between main crops prevent weed growth and add organic matter. Research shows that farms using cover crops need 25% less fertilizer and have 50% better water retention. This ancient practice literally transforms dead dirt into living soil that gets more productive every year. Organic power. Natural fertilizers work because they feed the soil ecosystem, not just the plants. Chemical fertilizers are like giving crops candy, quick energy that creates dependency and crashes. Organic fertilizers are like nutritious meals that build long-term health. Composted manure contains millions of beneficial microorganisms that form partnerships with plant roots, helping them access nutrients and fight diseases. These soil organisms create stable soil structure that holds water during droughts and drains properly during floods. The slow-release nature of organic fertilizers means plants get steady nutrition throughout the growing season without the boom and bust cycles of synthetic inputs. Earthworms thrive in organically fed soil, creating tunnels that improve drainage and leaving behind nutrient-rich castings. The cost savings are dramatic. Many Amish farms spend 70% less on fertilizers than conventional operations while producing healthier crops that bring premium prices. Plant partnerships. Companion planting harnesses plant chemistry that evolved over millions of years. Many plants produce compounds that repel insects, suppress weeds, or enhance the growth of nearby species. The Three Sisters combination works because corn provides a natural trellis for beans. Beans add nitrogen that feeds heavy-feeding corn and squash, while squash leaves create living mulch that conserves moisture and blocks weeds. The chemical interactions go deeper. Marigolds release compounds that kill nematodes in the soil. Basil produces oils that improve tomato flavor while repelling aphids, and nasturtiums act as trap crops that lure harmful insects away from valuable vegetables. Modern research has identified hundreds of these beneficial plant relationships, validating traditional knowledge with scientific understanding. Diverse plantings also confuse pest insects that rely on visual and chemical cues to find their host plants, creating natural protection that pesticides can't match. Water wisdom. Smart water management works with gravity and natural water cycles instead of fighting them. Terraces and swales capture rainwater that would otherwise run off, allowing it to soak into the soil where plants can use it. Contour planting follows the natural curves of the land, slowing water flow and preventing erosion. Windbreaks reduce water loss from evaporation while creating microclimates that protect crops from extreme weather. Ponds and wetlands aren't just pretty lawn, they recharge groundwater, moderate temperatures, and provide habitat for beneficial insects and wildlife. The key is understanding that water moves downhill and planning farm layout to capture and use every drop. French drains, mulching, and deep-rooted perennials all work together to create farms that actually improve watershed health. These systems cost less than conventional irrigation while providing better drought protection and flood resilience. The result is farms that work with nature's water cycles instead of depending on expensive pumps and sprinklers. Biological control. Natural pest control works by creating ecological balance where beneficial insects and other predators keep harmful species in check. Every pest has natural enemies. The trick is providing habitat and food sources that attract and support these beneficial species. Diverse plantings create refuges where predator insects can overwinter and reproduce, while native plants provide nectar and pollen for adult beneficial insects whose larvae eat crop pests. Beneficial birds need nesting sites and varied food sources, which mixed farming operations provide naturally. The timing is critical. Understanding pest life cycles allows farmers to take action when pests are most vulnerable. Mechanical controls like row covers and hand-picking work when pest populations are small, while biological controls like beneficial releases handle larger infestations. This approach requires more knowledge and observation than spraying chemicals, but it costs less money, protects human health, and builds long-term resilience. The result is farms where pest problems become smaller each year as natural balance develops.